All right, we are live. And we're gonna wait 1 second for my audio to get mixed up on Google. Let me just wait for that. Dun, dun, dun.
Ooh.
Okay. There we go. I caught it this week, guys. I did it.
Oh, before the echo.
Ooh.
Yeah. But it is a small crew tonight. We have Chase and Jerry joining us. So small, and I mean,
It
we
was-
have some fun things this week. We started talking about it before we were recording,
I mean,
but
the first thing that I'm thinking about the most, like as of today, I couldn't stop thinking about the fact that we're 6 weeks out from like 6 weeks out from today, which
that makes me so nervous.
is wild.
I'm getting so
Insane.
nervous. Oh my God.
Mhm.
Can you believe it? Do we remember when it was just announced that there was going to be a movie? Do you guys remember
Oof.
like when Tribute Talk even began and we had nothing to talk about?
No
Like,
cast.
Zamir style.
do you guys remember that?
What did
That
we
was
even talk
so
about? I
weird.
can't remember.
Oh my God. Chaos. Wow, 6 weeks.
Yeah, I feel like I've been going to all my group chats and like everything has just been like 6 weeks, 6 weeks, 6 weeks.
Okay, so what at this point, we're 6 weeks out. I'll ask a question. What are we most looking forward to
Music.
at this point? Music. What else?
Tom's performance, like as a
Ooh,
whole.
okay, Tom.
And I feel like for people to be introduced to Tom, right? Because we've
Mhm.
been like,
Our group chat is talking
Waiting.
about gatekeeping him.
oh yeah, a little bit. Everybody's
Wait,
gonna know him. I feel like even Rachel talked about how she wanted to gatekeep Tom
oh
right
my
on a
God.
live one time. But I hope that people really love his performance and that he becomes like this huge actor.
Gosh.
I agree.
Yeah.
I really hope that we get some, especially now that I'm in the middle of my reread. I really hope that we're going to get some more content based around the other tributes. I really hope they're going to do something, because the more I read, the more personality they have, and they're not just like just random figures in the background of the story. So I hope they give us something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Chase, you should join us for one of our reread episodes. Because I feel like we're
True,
gonna do a
yeah.
couple.
Huh? What's
This
that?
month, if
Fun.
you've checked out our calendar, I guess we'll
Oh, yeah.
promo this. Our calendar
I
for
have.
this month, we're doing a reread slash final talking points of Ballad before we see the movie, which is going to be kind of like the saddest part, that we're like closing this era
Oh,
of
no.
pre-Ballad.
Pre-movie.
Yeah, pre-movie Ballad. So it's gonna be like, I'm getting really bittersweet about it. Like you said, like 6 weeks, but like 6 weeks. Both are excited, but both are like
Mhm.
freaking out. I can't
Like I want
believe
to
it.
cry, but I'm also really excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Chase, you're rereading Ballad. So are you liking it more this time? Or I know you're not super far in, but
Yeah, I'm about 50 pages in, which to me was always still the slow point. To me, it didn't pick up until the throat slash, which I think that's like on page 100 or so. But so far, yeah, I'm really liking it. I think, and I'm usually pretty good with imagining stuff in my head, like how I picture things. But I think now that I have some like foundation to base all of the like movie I've got going on in my head on, as far as characters and what they look like, what the capital looks like at this point. I think it's a lot more helpful this time, and I don't know, it's less sillier than I remembered it being. Like I always thought about like I didn't like the whole school aspect, and I thought it was like, compared to Katniss, who's so stoic and it's so serious and grim and dark. It was like a little more, I don't know, it felt a little more immature compared to her story. But now that I see the world that they're going to be putting into the movie and how dark it really is, it's helped a lot. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far, and I hope I continue to. So
I
it's
think
going
that's
pretty
like a
good so far.
perfect, I think that's the perfect way to describe it though. Compared to Katniss's story. What did you say? Like ignorant? I think that's a good way to put it because that's how
Yeah.
I felt the first
Well,
time
she's
I
like
read.
struggling to survive, right? In a
Mhm.
different
But
way.
he kind of is, but like in
At
a
the same time,
completely
but
yeah.
honestly, in a more relatable way to the audience as well.
Mhm.
I feel like there's a lot of lines that he has that it's like, oh yeah, I felt that way, or I relate to that.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah, I think that was the big draw for me with her story was just the constant state of survival and you just got to keep adapting to your situation and going. And he does that too. It's just in a different setting, and I just don't think the setting, personally for me, the setting is not as interesting. Even though am really enjoying the Capitol, but when I can like seeing it in the movies and things, I've always wanted to kind of see more. But I still think the whole District 12 being thrown into an arena, I think to me that does it more for me as a reader. But I'm really enjoying it. I'm glad because I was worried I'd still not like it, but I really like it so far. So
Ooh,
I
yay.
love it.
Good to
I mean, it's still
hear.
number 4 for me, but I
Yeah.
was still like, I've
But
given it
it's
an
still
upgrade.
Suzanne Collins. It's still
Yeah,
great.
it's still amazing. So
Ooh, Lauren asked, when do you think we'll start getting announcements regarding the soundtrack?
That's a great
I wish I knew. Oh, I
I
wish
would
I
have thought
knew.
we would have had it by now, but maybe the strike is having something to do with it. Maybe they're not sure
Yeah.
exactly how they're going to release it as the
I
score,
have a
as the soundtrack.
I have a question about that. Like when people say soundtrack, are they meaning like Rachel's songs, or are they meaning? Because I thought they weren't getting other artists to do. We're not talking about like that kind of soundtrack, are we?
But there could also be like an end credits
Oh, okay.
song, and that's
Yeah.
the only way I can think that there would be really another artist.
Because there was an announcement that there was going to be a major recording
Yeah.
artist doing a single. So
Mhm.
could be a part of, like, we always got like the score soundtrack, but for
Yes.
the first 3 we had like a companion soundtrack. I don't think we're getting a full companion soundtrack,
Yeah.
but
What I
the
would
single
give.
might be a part of it could fit into the score, it could not as well, but
I
Gotcha.
feel like it would just be too
Like
much
the
for the score though, because Rachel is going to be singing like how many
Yeah.
songs?
but also it could be
So-
like an end credits like song.
yeah.
She's
I
got to
think it would
sing
be
like at
pretty-
least 5 though. So I feel like
Yeah.
that's too much to add on to all of the score songs as
I
well to
agree.
just be on
What
a
if we get like
score.
Taylor Swift, guys?
No.
There's got to be like Rachel's songs, which is like, I don't know, 5 or 6, and then like 2 other artists. That'd be perfect for just a very small album.
It's kind of
I
like
think-
It's
sorry.
like
No, you
Lord
go
with
ahead.
Lord with Lord with Lord.
You know, when in like the old Disney movies, like I'm thinking about Beauty and the Beast or Aladdin, they had like popular artists at the time do covers of
Mm.
like the songs.
True.
It could be something like that, or it could just be
Ew.
something original.
I don't think I would like that.
Eight
I
versions of
just
the
feel
Hanging
like
Tree.
there has to be a soundtrack. There's
Yeah.
no way. It doesn't make sense in my mind for there not to be a soundtrack and a score, but who knows?
I think the end credit scene. I wouldn't mind another artist because I think like Abraham's Daughter, the
Mhm.
Coldplay song Atlas, all that's so great, Lord's song. But I also think it would be cool if it was either like Rachel just by herself, kind of haunting, like like cut to black and that's it, or even if the Cubby like sang together in like a very like sad, depressing song. Like I want a depressing.
That
That
would be
depressing
so cool.
That would be
Like the idea that
great.
she's still kind of
Floating
out
around.
there,
Chills.
maybe.
I
Floating
think
around.
that's
God.
to me that would be the way to end it if it was like my perfect movie. But
I
that's just my
agree.
opinion. But I'd be down for a new song too. I was just confused. I didn't know if it was going to be like. I mean, I thought I had heard that wasn't going to happen, where we weren't going to have like a Coldplay, a Lord, doing all these songs. That's what I thought. So I was just verifying that I had all that in my mind right. But it's still a possibility, I guess, is what we're saying.
Ooh, Brian saying unpopular opinion. I just want to score. No pop inspired soundtrack is good for me. Interesting. I feel like I would agree if it ends up like Mockingjay. Like I don't want the Mockingjay Part 1 soundtrack, but there's such a sense of nostalgia about songs from District 12 and beyond. I just can't explain it. Like I
Mhm.
love that soundtrack so
It's so
much.
good.
I don't know. I just want that again with Ballad.
Agreed.
But then again, I'm not very much like an instrumental musical person. And Brian's really, really talented musically. And so I feel like you can probably appreciate the score more than I can appreciate the score, if that makes sense.
It just seems weird not to have a soundtrack for this movie in
Right.
particular.
Mm-hmm.
Lucy Gray's a singer. She sings so many songs. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me if there's no soundtrack, but we'll see.
And Lauren said that or mentions about the major recording artist that they hinted at that was going to have a song on the soundtrack, which I think we've all, is that a rumor? Is that confirmed? I
That
don't
was
know.
announced at Cine Europe, I think,
Okay.
Mhm.
along with the they showed behind the scenes stuff and character posters as well,
Mhm.
Mm,
but it was closed.
That was a
to-
while ago, though. I mean, so things can
Yeah.
change. That was like pre-strike, right? So
Yeah, that was pre-strike.
that would have been such a cool experience.
Yeah.
well, should we move on to talking about Roblox?
I was like waiting for
God.
you to say Roblox, Roblox.
I
I
love
love
Roblox. I think
Roblox.
it's so fun.
Yeah.
Like it's so much better than Hunger Games Adventures, in my opinion. And like I had a lot of fun with that. So
Oh my god.
I love it.
We owe Roblox a huge apology. But I think this last one was pretty fun. This last, what would it be called? I don't think it's an expansion.
It was quarter 1, right?
Quarter one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had to find keys to get into an unlocked space, and the new area was the academy classroom.
Mhm,
Super cool.
which is so cool.
I agree. You said something earlier, Holly, that like now when you see like stills from the film or like clips from the film, you're like, oh, I've been there. And I definitely feel like that seeing pictures
Aw.
of that location. I'm like, oh yeah, I've run around those stairs. Like,
Ah!
yeah.
I think it's so cute. Like I love it. It's like a different world that you get to experience it. It's really so cute. And I love meeting all these new fans. Like people who
Yeah.
aren't necessarily on Instagram, which is like what we usually are on like TikTok or YouTube.
We're just running around Roblox.
No, but like it's just so fun. It's like a younger generation of fans. It's really exciting who are excited for the movie and may or may not have read the book, but I think it's so cute.
I thought it was so funny how they asked those like marketing questions
Oh,
the
yeah.
bottom when you first came back
Oh.
in for quarter 1. Like, did this influence you to like watch the movie now that you've played the Roblox game?
I'm like, yeah, I really wasn't gonna go see it. There
I
was
was
no
unsure, but this convinced me. Yeah.
way. Brian says Emily and her grade struggles. Emily, do you want to
Oh
talk
my
about
God.
Oh
that?
no.
So I mean, we went live together, right, to do
Mhm.
that, and I was running around the classroom. You had to find the keys to open a vault and put Torio's paper in there because he like submitted it late or something. And there was like a little game where you had to like stop the cursor at a certain point on like a circle as it was going around. And I was doing it completely wrong. Like I thought I was supposed to get it in the gray. You're supposed to get it in the gold. So I failed.
You were
multiple
like, the
times.
gold is ugly. The gold is ugly.
I
Why
thought
would
it
you
was.
want
I thought it was yellow. I didn't think it was gold. Yellow
was
is
so
like
funny.
like a yellow stoplight. Like
Yeah,
that's bad.
that
So
was so funny.
I thought that was the wrong area to get it in, but yeah, then I figured it out and I tried it again and I did it perfectly, but it still gave me an F. So I gave up for a while, but I went back
Aw.
to it and got my A finally. It only took 4 tries.
Oh my god, you got an
But
A. Go, Emily.
I know. I
Let's
worked hard for
go.
that A, I have to say.
Emily redeemed her score.
So you got either a rose crown, which is what I chose, or an aura, I guess.
Oh yeah, did
Yeah.
that other one open up?
It did.
Is it gone? Please don't tell me it's gone.
Oh, I can check real quick.
Jerry's like, I have it up
On my
actually.
Roblox.
Oh, the rose crown? I love it. It's so cute.
Because I want to collect all the merch.
It's kind of weird that you could only pick one, and the crown wasn't available the first day, so
Yeah.
like I collected the aura,
Oh.
but
Okay,
Like-
so you can't collect both.
no, you can't collect both.
That's so
Oh, they
weird.
changed
Oh,
it.
that's weird.
Okay, so can
Yeah.
you read how many there are of each?
Let's see, it's loading real quick. Let's see. Inventory. Oh, there are only 2,200 auras left.
Out
and
of like
7,000
15,000?
Yeah. And 8,000 crowns left. So there's a lot of people have been playing this, you know.
Compared
Yeah,
to the
that's
first
cool.
Yeah,
round.
there's a lot of people on right now.
Yeah.
I really, and
Yeah.
I think I said this before. I really wanted them to like each quarter knock down how many items were available, so it would like actually be a first come first serve. Like you have to get in there and get it done. I thought that would be fun, but I get it. You want?
Yeah, I
It
don't know if
bothers
that's a
me.
good marketing strategy though, although
I like
that
the
seems
competition.
That
fun.
would be like being so
There's like one
awful.
left, and the first person to get it done wins.
Oh my god. Well, I think it was a moment, Jerry. It was the first morning that the whole experience opened on Roblox, or the first afternoon or whatever. And we were both going for the same like Mockingjay, but I didn't know at the time that it was like a scavenger hunt, and then you
Oh.
stole the Mockingjay from me.
Wait,
And ever
what?
yes. And ever since then, and I've been like, wait a second, Jerry stole this Mockingjay from
Wait,
me.
I thought they were all like there at the same
Were
I
they?
thought they were there for everyone.
But
I
then it
think
like
they- I
disappeared.
think
I think
they
they
are.
disappear for a second, and then
Oh
they
my
have to
gosh.
reappear.
I didn't even know.
It was so funny. I
my
just love
gosh.
this game. And I love, Jerry, your story about like sitting down and watching the trailer, because that is all I'll do. I'll be doing one of the scavenger hunts,
I
and then
need
I'll
a
be like,
break.
wait, I need a break. I gotta go chill. Like,
Yeah.
let me just sit down for a
I
second.
love that you can sit in the chairs. This is
Yeah.
like my favorite part.
Then I get
remember
stuck in them sometimes.
yeah, I get stuck the first time. I didn't know how to get out.
Oh, I'm so
But-
bad at playing it though. Like I run into the walls and it's terrible.
It's so
But
Yeah,
hard
it's
on the
the speed.
phone.
It's
oh yeah, I had
I-
to quit on the phone.
Shout out to those on Instagram that were helping us throughout our lives. Because we had no idea what we were doing.
What do we think the next quarter is gonna be? Like what area are we gonna get to?
I wonder if they're gonna give us a still of that. Like, because they kind of gave us the still of the classroom right before the classroom section came out.
I think we could get the a room they're in at the reaping, maybe. But it's not very big though. But maybe you could like instead
Maybe
of the
the zoo.
bleachers, it's in the chair rows or something. I don't know.
Hmm. But
I'm
it's
trying to
weird
think
because it all
through.
has to be a part of the academy.
Yeah, I'm trying
Yeah,
to think
that's
of
true.
rooms we've seen, but I don't really know anymore.
I think there's there are like banners, or not banners, but like parts of the rooms that are like locked, and it says what quarter it'll be. Yeah, it's the second quarter coming soon. It's like a stairway that goes down
I think that's the
like to
lab.
the left.
I don't think
Yeah.
they're gonna keep it
Oh,
to
the
only
lab.
being in that building.
That could be the lab, yeah.
I think downstairs is the lab.
I'm
Yeah,
like me on
true.
Roblox right now looking.
Oh, Jerry.
I want to go to the zoo. I want one of them to be
The
the
zoo
zoo
would be
Me
really
too.
cool.
or the arena. That would be cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for all the skeptics out there, I was not gonna do Roblox. I was like, nah, not my thing, not doing it. And then I got in there and it was actually pretty fun. So give it a shot.
I love Roblox. Shout out to
Shout out.
Roblox.
It's so detailed too. Like
I
it's
know.
so accurate.
It's so fun. I feel like I'm 12 all over again. Like, it's so fun. And then you can play all the other fun games. Like, you can join any server. There's some fun games out there. So if you
Yeah.
haven't come, then come do this exciting task for Koryo and get an aura crown or something.
Yeah.
Okay, then what else do we get this week? Can we talk? Okay, I know that this is jumping ahead, But right before we got on here, we got a TikTok
So awkward.
of Hunter Schafer, who we love. But oh, it was so cringe. I'm sorry, but what
I
was
think
Lionsgate thinking?
It's just weird because the strike is happening right now. And we
Mhm.
know it's not in real time.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but clearly they had that content. So should they use it or should they not use it? I don't know. Maybe they should have waited until the strike was over for that.
It was a very awkward TikTok. Like I thought, "Oh, am I the only one seeing this, or is this really this uncomfortable?" It was just kind of odd. I don't
Or
know.
if they have that same footage for different cast members, they should have like released them
Compiled them.
throughout the day or something. Or
Mhm.
yeah, compile them together. They'll probably do like one a week or something. I really like
Yeah.
the other BTS TikTok though. That was
That
fun.
was so
That was fun.
cute.
The dancing from Tom was great, and Rachel, which I really
She's
liked
so
that we
cute.
saw. I just love that she was like dancing when clearly she's in between takes of like being handcuffed to a table. Like
I love the table, how it's a triangle.
Yes.
I'm surprised
Yeah,
they're
I
keeping
really
that
liked it.
scene in, to be honest. I thought it was
Well,
gonna be
it's-
cut.
Well, I thought that's the part where she says, "You have to keep me alive," or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is like seeing that now. I guess other people guessed that before, but I thought maybe they switched things around or something.
But yeah, so cute. And then we're gonna be making one of those. A spoiler, stay tuned for TikTok in November because we're gonna be making a similar TikTok. But that was fun. What else did we get? We got stills.
Hunter, oh well, just in the same TikTok, like Hunter Schafer doing the 3-finger salute, like that was
Oh
fun.
yeah, that was so fun.
And Peter, he scared me.
Oh my gosh.
He did look intimidating. I was kinda scared.
Looked into my soul.
I
Yeah,
just
was
can't
like,
wait to see more of that BTS footage because you know they have so much.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, why don't they release more of that? Are they not allowed to? Like what?
I
Do
don't
you think
know.
they're just waiting? I
My
mean, it's
guess
almost
is
a
that,
month before.
Like that would have been posted on Reese's account, maybe
Yeah.
if
Okay.
the strike wasn't happening. I wonder if like Reese made that TikTok or if he just sent the footage and then now the marketing team is making these TikToks with whatever footage they have.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes. We have to talk about Lucky Flickerman too. I totally
Oh.
forgot. That was my favorite.
This is the best. Everyone,
it's
I could
so
get one of
fun.
those a day and I'd laugh.
Dude, those are awesome. Let me
So
see if I
good.
can pull it up because those are fun and I kind of want to watch it.
It's fun how it's very in world too and very much related to the book.
Mm-hmm. And seems like something Stanley Tucci would do too. Like it seems like something the characters would all do. Like they would be. I wish we kind of would have gotten more normal
Yeah,
type stuff
I've
from
been
Stanley
seeing
at times.
comments like that, like they could have used Stanley Tucci more when the original films were coming out, but
It's
you know,
like, I guess I
TikTok
don't know that
wasn't
he
a
was
thing.
necessarily a reporter too. At that point, like Caesar was just the interviewer and the host. So, but I think they definitely could have done. I think they're really funny. I think it would have been good.
Okay. I have it up. Let me see if I can share my screen.
We'll work on patching that hole soon.
That is so funny. And then what does
Yeah.
he say? Like that was a bomb or something? Or that was
It's a random intro.
Oh, I need to also share my sound. LOL. Share. I'm not technologically savvy.
You're
Okay.
doing great.
Let me make sure that my sound is on. And it's not.
And again, a balmy evening here in the Capitol. Now sorry, excuse. I'm being asked to interrupt this weather forecast with an important message from the War Department. Any reports of rabies cases within the Capitol walls is complete fabrication, spread by treasonous outlaws intent on destroying our way of life. Sounds like man laws.
Ah,
Seriously, though, top scientists from the War Department have researched these allegations, and there's no evidence of any so-called outbreak. And if there was, it would only be the result of tainted imports from Districts 10 and 11.
Hey.
Really? They ought to be more careful out there. Come on.
shout out
Is it
to
capital mouths you're
Emily.
feeding here, huh? Have some pride. Now back to the weather.
Have some pride.
District 12, colon.
I love
I
that
still
so
love-
much.
So good.
I
still
have
love the
pride in
hand
my district.
gestures. Sorry.
You what?
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
My bad, Chase. I was
Well,
just
Emily
still
has
being
pride in her
upset.
dis-
I'm good. I'm over it.
Oh, okay. I just said, I was thinking back to the first one, and I didn't even notice them until Holly says them. But the hand gestures are so funny, like the 10 and the 12 and the 2 tributes. And anyways, I just think he does good. Like I'm really excited for him out of probably everybody in the movies.
2 tributes from 5-5 to each district.
Yeah, it's so goofy.
I love him. He's awesome.
Also,
I just
the
love
mo-
this
Go ahead. You go ahead.
character. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say I love this character marketing.
I was looking at his pin more, like his brooch or whatever that thing is. I don't know if he called it a brooch for a guy, but it looks like the like eagle's wings from the logo. I don't know. That's what it reminds me of. Because I used to think it was kind of weird, like what is that? But it's reminded me more of the seal.
Oh, yeah, I think that's a cool detail.
Yeah, I really like it. Like just patriotic enough to be stylish for them.
Yeah, I think he's gonna steal like a lot of scenes in the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll definitely probably be a big standout once the movie comes out.
Mhm.
I think that's the thing. I think it's hard for them to be doing marketing of these characters because they're not Katniss. Like, they're not the faces anyone recognizes. And so I feel like once people go to see the movie, they'll appreciate it more. And then I think that it'll start to get more buzz. I think it's going to be like a slow burn of a movie in terms of like people coming out to see it and appreciating it.
I think too, there's a problem there. One of the other problems is you don't have that slow build that you could have had with a 4-movie franchise. You have
Mhm.
one movie to get all this out. So it's
Exactly.
like, how do you approach that with an entirely new world of characters, an entirely new world itself? I think that would be hard too. It's like, we don't have 4 movies and 3 books to build on all these people with. We have one shot to get all these people out there and get other people interested in them. And I'm sure that's a difficult task, but
Mm-hmm. And then we also, is there anything else about the Lucky video? Because if not, there was also those beautiful, was it Vogue images?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were posted yesterday, I think, along with an article with Trish Somerville talking about the costumes,
Mm-hmm.
which was pretty cool. I just love hearing about the rainbow dress,
Yes.
especially.
Mm-hmm.
I can read some of the article if we want to.
Yeah.
So on the rainbow dress, it said, one of Somerville's most daunting tasks was bringing the female lead, Lucy Gray Baird, a scrappy street smart performer, to life. The District 12 tribute, played by Rachel Zegler, is written with a hyper-specific costume. It has to be this rainbow ruffled dress, which is repeated over and over in the book and in the script. The dress not only had to match the description, but also had to be functional for the movie's many action sequences. On a page, a rainbow ruffled dress with pockets sounds very whimsical, but for me, integrally, I had to design something that I'm proud of. The dress, which went through many iterations before Somerville was content with the final product, was made of tulle, netting, and fabric with plenty of stretch that enabled Zegler and her stunt doubles to move freely. When it came to Lucy Gray's rainbow dress, fans had some really strong opinions, even going so far as to reach out to Somerville well before the costume was revealed. I do get a lot of direct messages, I know it's funny, and information from the fans. Somerville wanted to keep the dress true to Suzanne Collins' book while still creating an engaging recreation she ultimately drew from vaudeville, ending in a peasant top with a corset and a skirt with 4 layers of tulle. And for eagle-eyed fans, Somerville also included an Easter egg on the corset. We had a beautiful patina department that did hand paint those corsets. And the flowers on the corsets are inspirations from Katniss flowers and primrose flowers.
Oh,
Yes.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
I would love to see the evolution of that dress. Like to
Yes,
see the
with
first
All the different
dress.
thoughts of things that it could be. Although I love the final product, it's still my favorite costume from the franchise period. It's so
I'm so
cool.
glad that people
No,
like the
everyone
dress.
loves it.
We were so worried.
I
Yes.
know.
I love that the reaction too was everyone recognizing that what they had in their head was ridiculous.
Yes.
Yeah.
People were just like, oh yeah, I imagine this ridiculous like rainbow ruffle outfit, but I'm so glad I was wrong.
No, same. It's so beautiful. I wonder if that's what Suzanne thought of, or if Suzanne actually has bad taste and is awful.
Oh, I feel like
And-
Suzanne is also just like not a costume designer, right? Like she
Mhm.
definitely knows a lot about food and like how to describe food really well for some reason. But costumes, like, I don't know. I feel like there are always like people who in translating it to a movie can maybe do a little bit of a better job.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would love to see the like concept art for each iteration of what they were going for at the beginning. I think that would be really cool. And the only other outfits that I think would be cool to see, kind of any of the other ideas they were going with, were the academy uniforms, because I know some people love the skirt things and other people don't. But I think that would be fun to see what other ideas they had, because the book, at least as far as I've gotten in my reread of 50 pages, is pretty vague about the uniform.
Other than like color, maybe.
But I think that would be interesting to see what other ideas they had in their head
Mhm.
before they got to the skirt.
I can read the part about the academy outfits too, just kind of short. But for the more insular academy, a school for the wealthy capital residents, Somerville got to lean more into genderless fashion, designing a pleated maroon skirt over trousers with a matching blazer. For the task of designing a school uniform, she wanted to avoid cliches. I didn't want girls in skirts and boys in pants. I wanted everybody to be uniformed in the same way. With the Capitol, when they have you in a group setting, boot camps, or the peacekeepers, you work for them. They look at you like one of a million. It's a bit communistic and regimented, which I
Mm.
kind of like that
Yeah, that is a good point.
description of it. Like she wanted everyone to just be one of, many.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do like that. That's a good explanation for it. So I can put that in my head when I doubt it.
Mhm.
And
Because when you think about like military outfits, they're like pretty standard, no matter if it's like a guy or a girl wearing the outfit. So I get that.
yeah, that's a good way to look at it. I like her thoughts on that. That was good.
And then there was also Tigress's pink
Oh,
outfit,
that was so beautiful.
which she mentioned it kind of having some imperfections to it, which I thought was cool, like being
Mhm.
able to see some of the seams or like some like ripping parts, because she has to kind of sew everything up and like keep everything together. They have to make things last.
So cool.
And then she did mention like the late 40s and 50s being like the inspiration for the Capitol residents.
I really
I
like
just
that.
love how book accurate they're being.
Mhm.
Like, why am I surprised? But I'm surprised.
It feels like the most book accurate of the Hunger Games movies to date, does it not?
Do
think
they kind of
so.
think it's like this is a project for the fans? Like,
That's like you remember the tweet? Like I think there's a tweet. It was one of the trailers, either the teaser trailer with the snow or the ice, but there was the caption was like for the fans, or this is for the fans or something. And I think about that every time we see like stuff exactly like from the book, like book accurate like scenes or props or anything like that. I think of that quote
Yeah.
for the fans, and it is for the fans.
Like the only thing I can think that they're really potentially cutting is the funerals. We haven't seen anything from that, and
Yeah.
I feel like there's not going to be time for that in the movie.
Right.
I think
That
the
was, like,
deaths
my
are just
number
going to
one thing.
happen. Yeah, I mean the one
It's
thing that
okay.
I would be sad about from that is just like the parallel to the tribute parade,
Mhm.
which is a really good one, and it would be a good
Yes, I really
visual
wanted the crane
parallel.
scene, but
Yeah.
instead we got the cannibal scene. So I actually like that probably more. So I'm gonna go with that. I mean, at least we got one of them. I didn't think we'd get either of them just for the rating, but we're gonna get a cannibal scene, so we can't be mad at not hanging people from cranes. Not that I want to see that, but I like the beginnings of the parade, but whatever.
I don't know,
Anything
just
else on
getting
the
so excited.
costumes?
I'm just so shocked that the Rachel's dress is your background.
Oh, my lock screen.
Yeah, I'm just so impressed. Like we
Yeah.
have slowly converted, it's a dress, but like over time, just hearing you talk about Lucy Gray has been so lovely because it's only gone like up. So
It's
let's
only
just
gone up.
appreciate it.
Mhm.
Anything else from this week that we have?
There was one more article that Molly from Pan and Propaganda shared. I don't think
yeah.
it was
That's a good one.
posted anywhere online, but it was about the like hair and makeup. I forget, Sherry Lawrence,
Lawrence.
I think, was one of the head makeup artist. And Pan and Propaganda posted some parts from the magazine that it was in. It was like a makeup magazine.
The biggest shock from that was that the eye was Viola's idea.
Yeah.
That was the biggest takeaway for me. I was like,
Yeah.
huh, that's interesting.
I wonder
wasn't
why. I mean, I guess she just envisioned the character a certain way, and she's a big enough star that's like, I
You
think I
like
want to
make
keep
it
like this.
villain.
And they used Gene Wilder as Willy Wonka as inspiration. that was kind of like, what? But it kind of makes sense, like a guy leading children to their death. So I get it, but it was like, that's really off the wall. But that was kind of an interesting takeaway, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest thing for me in that article was, I'm just going to read this part about Lucky Flickerman. So Lucky Flickerman was one of the most fun characters to create. He's the ancestor of Caesar Flickerman, who has been assigned to host the 10th Hunger Games. He starts off with a drab look and becomes more of a celebrity TV personality, and his style changes. We started with bushier eyebrows, pale, uncorrected skin, and a plain mustache. Each script day, we added more pancake makeup and bronzer, stained his lips, and began plucking his eyebrows into a more pointed shape. By the end, he was an extreme version of his new style. I think that's cool. And we didn't
That
really
was cool.
notice that in the stills. Like there's the one of him in the zoo, which is clearly from the beginning, looking at it now. And then like when he's in the red velvet jacket, he's got more of like the mustache is like curled at the ends, and he's got more of like the poof on his hair.
Yeah, the hair is what I noticed. I thought that was funny because when he's in the red velvet jacket or like suit coat, he has a really big like poof. And I've always thought it was funny, but then looking back, it was once I saw the pictures side by side, it was like he never even had that in the beginning. Yeah, I've never noticed that.
Somebody further in the chat, this is a little bit off topic, but somebody had asked, do you think we'll get a final trailer? Since Lionsgate called the latest trailer official trailer 2 instead of final trailer.
Mm,
I don't.
I doubt it.
I don't think so.
There
I
might
could
be
see like
TV
a TV
spots.
spot, yeah, for the
Yeah.
next,
That
because
might
we're
have
only
an
a month
extra.
away. This flew by. Oh
6
my
weeks.
god.
Gosh.
I don't
Uh,
really know how much. I mean, other than maybe some more of the tributes, I don't really know what else they would want to or could show at this point. I feel like we've
I
seen
know
little
they've
clips of
shared so
everything.
much.
Yeah.
I don't want to see anything else to be. I mean, I know I'm going to see more stuff. There's going to be like, they'll release a clip or, whatever, more stills, but I'm like so good with what I've seen. I'd rather just see it in the theater.
I could go for a clip. I have to say, I remember when they released the Katniss shooting the apple of the Who Ordered This Pig, and that was like life changing. The day that we got that, I remember. as a
Okay,
kid.
I will say one clip would be nice because then you kind of get a feel for what it's like to just watch the movie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just don't want to. I don't want to see. I just want to experience it in the theater, And I feel like there's a lot of stuff we haven't seen. Like there's so much more with Clemencia, hopefully, and the other tributes and the mentors. I think there's a lot that hasn't even been like teased yet.
Yeah.
If they do release a clip, I don't want it to be like a big scene. Like even with the Apple scene, at least it was very contained. You were in a room.
Mhm.
There's like a group of people. There was Katniss, but like you didn't see big sets and stuff like that. So if it was maybe like a scene between Tigris and Snow talking just at their
It's gonna be a
apartment
talking
or
scene, yeah.
something like that. Yeah, I want something like that if we get something. I don't want like some massive scene, which I don't think they would do, but just keep it as, I just want less. If there is going to be a clip, I want it to not be too much.
Mhm.
It might be like one of the classroom scenes because I remember
Yeah.
Catching Fire. One of the clips they released was the scene with Virus, Speedy, and Katniss about the force field.
Mhm.
But I don't know why. Like my mind goes to when they drop into the zoo. That would be a clip they release.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
I
that's a
think
big
that-
scene, but I mean, we saw it in the trailer, but
I would want to
I
see
don't know.
that.
I
I'd
think
want to
the
see it.
What are the Hunger Games for? Scene in
Yeah.
the classroom would be a good one.
That would be a good one.
The two that always come to my mind when we are talking about this is I either think they're going to do the little clip of him and Tigers talking about, I would want someone to still care for me and
Mhm.
think I'm a value. I could see them pulling something from that. Or I could see if they're going for the love angle, I could see them doing him wiping her eyes with the handkerchief, that thing, and
True.
because that seems like a very intimate, like close up, not a lot's going on. You're not going to see a lot. I think that could be a possible clip too. That's where I'm going, but
Okay,
could be very wrong.
Playing Nice 101 in the chat said maybe one of Lucy Gray's songs would be a good clip, which
That would be
yes,
good.
I agree.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yes.
maybe not the Reaping, but like one of like the ones like before the games.
At the Hob or something.
Or yeah,
Yeah. The
one
one
of
at
the
the
songs would
zoo.
be perfect.
The one at the zoo would be good, maybe.
And that we kind of get people to understand that there's a lot of music in this, because I know that's a
Mhm.
concern of yours, Emily. Is like, do people know there's music in this?
Mhm.
Emily's greatest ballad concern.
Yeah, that to me is one of the
Since
bigger
day one.
turnoffs of the book, but I'm getting through it, so that's all that matters.
The Reaping one is ridiculous, granted. So I
Yeah,
think you're
that was
supposed
really
to feel
hard.
that way. I don't know.
Do we think she'll sing in the movie at the Reaping?
Yes.
We know.
You do?
she's singing.
Oh, we
Yeah.
do know that. Okay. I just didn't know. I figured they would include something of that in the trailer, but okay. Yeah. Yay, the Reaping song.
Yay.
The hesitation in your voice.
I think
Yeah. In my mind, when I reread it, I had a vision that the crowd started singing with her, and that's the exact opposite. It was like her and one of the members of the Covey, and that was it. So
yeah.
that's going to be even more awkward. I'm worried about that one. I don't do good when people sing in movies and stuff. I get uncomfortable.
I hope there's no music at all. I hope it's like dead quiet, just her singing.
Yeah.
Just
I
plays
don't know
with the
which one is more
awkwardness.
awkward, honestly.
No music would be so awkward.
A rebel remix.
I mean, maybe it could just be like how the Hanging Tree was. Music is slowly added to it. It's just like
True.
suspension of disbelief a little bit.
Maybe they'll
That's a
make it
little
more
too
like
much for me.
haunting than it is upbeat. Like I'm imagining like upbeat and she's running around. So maybe it'll be like more like
Like Hannah
somber.
Montana performing.
Sure. She takes a wig off in the middle of it.
Oh gosh.
But if they like did that and then they cut like they're focused on her and then they cut back to the big crowd and it's just like still, I think that would be kind of cool and that would lessen the awkwardness if she's running around like. But in the book, it to me it reads like she's like obviously performing like doing a performance for people. So I don't know how they're gonna do. I worry about that.
Brian also said maybe Corio and Lucy Gray's first interaction at the train station would be a good clip. I agree.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah,
I
'cause
think
we have
that
a
they've
lot
had a
of that
lot of
usually.
in the trailers is probably
Mhm.
what it would be.
Mhm. That would be good. And that's so book accurate. I just read that part. It's amazing how they're just
Yeah,
pulling lines. It's really good.
it is. Yeah.
I will never get over Chase talking positively about the film. Like it's my favorite thing.
About the what?
Just talking positively about the movie. Like
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it's great.
I-
I love it.
I feel like a fake fan because I talk so poorly about the book, but then I'm like, the movie looks great. I'm so excited. The sets are amazing. The people, but I'm trying, and so far I like the book more. So I'm trying to be positive about it.
Second read.
Woohoo.
The
Second
closer,
read
yeah, I
also.
think it definitely needed a reread. That's why I was like, I'm holding out a little hope for it. But
Yeah. I had a
We
friend.
just I love an open mind. It's
Yeah.
great.
I
I'm
had a friend
easily
who just
persuaded
finished.
too. So with stuff like this, like, oh yeah, that makes complete sense now that you said one word about it. Yeah, I agree with you.
Jerry, sorry, were you saying something?
Oh, yeah, I had a friend who just finished and they were like confused about the ending, and I was like, yeah, there's one thing about this book is you have to read it multiple times to really like get, because like same with me, I had like a predetermined like, oh, I wanted to know how he got to become president, and that's not what Ballad was about, and so you kind of get disappointed by that. But once you know what the story is and what you can expect, and then once you like get past like, oh, the bunch of like random characters you meet from the academy or whatever, you like put that in the back of your mind and actually listen and go through what the story actually means. It's like it's really
I feel like it's a book
good.
that gets better with discussion.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Like
I agree.
I think that's a good way to maybe think about it.
I think too, it kind of depends, like Jerry said, what are you going in for? What are you going into it for? Are you going in to see him rise to power? I think you're going to be a little disappointed because you don't get that
Mhm.
full fleshed out story. Are you going in it to see a love story? Well, you're definitely not going to be happy with the ending on that one, you know? And so to me, I'm trying to look at it as, okay, this is, yeah, it's an origin story of Snow, but like look at it as an origin story of the Hunger Games themselves. And that's where I find the most joy in it. It's like you get to see the beginnings of the parades and the interviews and things like that. I think that helps me look at it and have a more positive spin on it. Is it's not about the people, it's about the event for me and
Right.
seeing how that became what it is. And that's how I like to read it. And the more I'm thinking about that as I reread, I'm liking it better. So I think the first time I was too focused on Snow himself. And for me personally, I have to back out and look at just the Hunger Games as an event and see how it came about. That's helping me.
That's a great way to put it. Like I hope to see like more of that within like the marketing for the movie,
Mhm.
because like people say, oh, this is an origin story for President Snow, but like you said, no, it's like this the 10th Hunger Games is the starting point for the rest of the Hunger Games, what we know in
Mhm.
the original trilogy. And
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really more of an origin story for Pan Am as a whole. Like, I don't think I personally, I don't think we'll ever get a Dark Days book. I think that would get too chaotic. Who do you tell that perspective from? Because Snow's
Yeah.
too young at that point. I mean, he does remember a lot, but it's like, and then I mean, you're talking about you have to tell a whole war story from 65 years before the original. I just think that would be a lot. Not that
I
you
mean,
couldn't do it.
no.
I just think it would be a lot. So I don't think we'll ever
Yeah.
get it. So to me, this is just the beginnings of Pan Am that we know, and mainly the Hunger Games. Yeah, I think people get too caught up on, oh, it's Snow, and it is,
Yeah.
but I like it the other way.
Yeah.
Me too.
And we know
Yeah,
how
like-
like the story ends with like the war. Like we know what like not the itty bitty details, but like we know that like the rebels lost. Just like with Haymitch and Finnick, we know like how they won their games and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
with this like with Ballad, we didn't know anything about like how the game started, who created them, and
True.
the evolution with the games.
Yeah, because I think if she tried to do a book that she's already mentioned stuff about, whether it's Haymitch's games or um, Phoenix games, I think she's going to box herself in where she doesn't have the creativity to make up stuff. Like you've already kind of
Mhm.
set the boundaries of that story. And I mean, filling in the blanks would be cool. That's yeah, if you want that. But I think with this story, yeah, she had so much room to build. Like she had, I mean, all we knew was that there was a war. It ended in the Hunger Games, and that Jabberjays, things like that came out of it. But to see all of that as a whole now I think that's interesting. I just think she'd box herself in too much if she started a story
Yeah.
based on things she's already written about a little bit. But she could still do it, I don't put anything past her.
And
She
we'd
could
eat
probably
it
do
up. We'd eat it up.
Well, is that it for this week? I mean, that was some good discussion on just a couple of things that we had in the last week, I think.
I feel like I talked way too much. I'm sorry.
No, we love to hear
Oh,
Chase.
this is great.
Especially, we just need to talk about Roblox and Ballad, the book.
Yes. I have a quick question, like random, but had they casted a President Ravenstill? Is that person in the movie,
I
or
don't
is that
think
not
so. I mean, I
Oh,
think
really?
it'll be like some extra who's kind of
Okay.
standing in for that.
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember that, and I really wanted that just randomly to see someone else in power, but that's okay. Okay. All right, that's my last random question.
Well,
I'm good.
it's Dr. Gall. Dr.
Yeah,
Gall's
that's
in
true.
power.
That's true.
Well, anything else?
Nope.
Well, thanks for joining us, everyone. And we have a new episode coming out this Sunday. New episodes every single Sunday in October. So stay tuned for that. And hopefully next week we'll be back to talk more Ballad. The more the merrier, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And then Chase will be
Sweet.
further Chase will be further in Ballad the book. So stay tuned for his read along and his thoughts.
I
And we'll
know
see you
you're on the
next
edge of the
week.
seats.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Yeah.